Dear students, welcome to EPG Pathashala. I am Professor Korada Subramaniam from University of Hyderabad. Today, the paper under consideration is Vedic, Epic and Puranic Culture of India, and there we are going to deal with the module Vedic Thought 2, it is Karma and Jnanam. The Veda can be divided into two parts. There, the first part that is Mantra Brahmana Bhaga it is called, deals with karma, and the latter part called Upanishads deals with Jnanam. So, karma would lead to Swarga, whereas Jnanam causes moksha. Those who perform yagas would go to Swarga, and after enjoying comforts there for a period that commensurates with the amount of punyam performed, they will return to earth, that is, will be born here. Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam kshine punye matyalokam vishanti, says Bhagavad Gita 9th Adhyaya. This means as long as the punya lasts, these people who perform the yagas etc. would enjoy in Swarga, and later as soon as the punya is consumed, then they will return to the Bhuloka. Matyaloka is Bhuloka. That is what Bhagavad Gita says. Veda is generally divided into two parts. Apastamba Paribhasha says Mantra Brahmanayoho Vedanamadheyam. The name Veda means mantra and Brahmana. Here the term Brahmanam includes Aranyakam and Upanishad also. That means fourfold division is there actually, Mantra, Brahmana, Aranyaka and Upanishad, whereas here the Apastam Maharshi says it is Mantra and Brahmana only, which means Brahmana includes Aranyaka and Upanishad also. Mantra and Brahmana, the first parts are useful in performance of yagas, whereas the latter Aranyakam and Upanishad are for gaining Jnanam. So, in short, the first part deals with the karma. The first part of Veda deals with karma, whereas this latter part with Jnanam. There are 6 darshanas or systems of Indian philosophy that are useful in understanding the Vedic sentences along with the Vedangas. So, the names of the darshanas are Purvamimamsa, Uttaramimamsa, Sankhyam, Yogaha, Nyayaha and Vaisheshikam. Then the term Purvamimamsa is actually the term Purva in Purvamimamsa refers to the earlier parts, that means Mantra and Brahmana parts of Veda, and therefore it is also called which propose karma. So, Purvamimamsa is also called Karma Mimamsa, Dharma Mimamsa, Mimamsa, Purvatantram, Purvakandaha, Vaki Shastram, etc. The term Uttara in Uttaramimamsa refers to the latter parts of Veda, that is Aranyakam and Upanishad, and also called Brahma Mimamsa or Vedanta. Jaimini, a sage, had authored the Sutras of Mimamsa, supported by the Bhashyam of Shabaraswami and commentaries thereupon by Prabhakara and Kumarla Bhatta. There, Athato Dharma Jignasa is the first Sutram in Purvamimamsa. It means after learning Veda, one should have the desire to know as to what is Dharma. When Dharma is known, Adharma is also known. So, Mimamsa is useful in knowing both Dharma and Adharma. Then, the term Mimamsa is used in the sense of Pujita Vicharaha. Pujita Vicharaha means a venerable discussion. That means not every discussion can be called Mimamsa. Mimamsa is preferably a venerable discussion, that means related to the discussion of Vedas and Vedic literature. In other words, Mimamsa is a work of Vedic exegesis. Vedic sentences are taken up, and through rigorous interpretation the Vakyartha or the sentence meaning is decided. So, Mimamsa holds that Dharma is achieved through the performance of karmas or rites that are ordained by Veda, such as yaga or sacrifice. Now, Karma Siddhanta, the theory of karma. This is Siddhanta has become popular across the globe, because without any reason, that is perceivable reason, certain things do happen. Why are they happening like that? Why there are such kind of differences in the form or the mental abilities, etc. of people? So, the only answer is their karma or nemesis. That means, whatever karma is committed during earlier births, earlier incarnations, karma is punyam or papam. Depending on that only, a person would have his health, wealth, beauty, etc. all the things, good as well as bad in this incarnation. That is what is called karma siddhanta. The Vedic tradition has got a unique concept called karma or nemesis, which would explain the vicissitudes of beings in their lifetime as well as the cause of birth and rebirth of a being. Literally, karma means action or activity of a person. It is of two types: punya karma, the karma that causes punyam, the term cannot be translated, and it is an opposite of papam or sin, and papa karma is a sinister action. According to karma siddhanta, one will enjoy comforts as per his punya karma in the earlier lives and suffers as per his papa karma in the earlier lives. If his karma is perished due to jnanam, then he would attain moksha. So, unless and until the karma is destroyed, one cannot attain jnanam and the further moksha. Once he attains jnanam, it is almost, you can say, he got moksha. Now, punarjanma, this is rebirth. Actually, the Indian tradition itself believes strongly in punarjanma, because without punarjanma the entire thesis or theory of karma etc. is lost. So, here punarjanma, according to Arya Samskriti, Atma is immutable, that means it is eternal, indestructible or nitya, and the physical body goes on changing, that is to say anitya or transient. The Atma would take a different body, that is to say that of a mosquito or an elephant following the earlier karma. That means Atma is very small, therefore, depending on karma, a being may change its birth in the next cycle, like that. Bhartruhari in Vakyapadiyam Vakyakanda, a seminal work on Paninian grammar, the concept of Punarjanma has to be, he says that it has to be accepted. Why? Swaravrittim vikurute madhau punsko kelasyakaha jantvadayah kulayadi karane kena shikshitaha. See, male cuckoo would give a kind of panchamasvara during Vasanta Masa. So, how is it able to give like that? Vasantartu, Chaitra and Vaishakha Masa, we hear a sweet panchamasvara of a male cuckoo. How it got the swara, panchamasvara during that period? Jantvadayah kulayadi karane kena shikshitaha. The cobwebs are there. They are building their web. Who trained them in building this kind of cobweb? So, they have got it through from Purajanma Sanskara only. Similarly, every being is born with an inherent mental capacity called pratibha, that is attained from the earlier birth. Otherwise, who is changing the crow of a male cuckoo into panchamasvara, and by whom spider etc. are trained in building cobweb nest etc. Ahara pritya padvesha plavanadi kriyasu yaha jatyanvaya prasiddhasu prayokta mrugapakshinam. Who is the organizer of animals and birds in the activities related to food, love, hatred, swimming etc., which are popular due to their jati, that means class, and kula, group etc. So, all these physical and mental phenomena do happen due to pratibha, that is attained from the earlier life, declares Bhartruhari in Vakyakanda of Vakyapadiyam. Then, karma phalam or nemesis. Karma phalam, one has to face the result of his karma, that is to say both punya karma and papa karma. Avashyam anubhoktavyam kritam karma shubhashubham. Whatever karma you have performed in the earlier incarnations, earlier lives, you have to face it. There is no question of going out of it. Then one should enjoy or suffer for his auspicious and inauspicious activities that are committed. There is no escape. Nabhuktam kshiyate karma janmakoti shatairapi. Unless and until it is experienced, the karma, even after 100 lakh lives or births, going to perish. That is impossible. So, therefore, one has to experience, either enjoy or suffer for the karma he has performed. The karma that is committed but not faced will not perish even after 1 crore incarnations. The karmas can be destroyed only through attaining Jnanam. Jnanagnihi sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Bhagavad Gita says in 4th Adhyaya that the fire called Jnana is going to turn to dust all the karmas. So, through Jnanam one will get moksha, that is the purport. Like that, the fire called Jnanam would turn all the karmas into dust. Next, Sanchita karma. The different kinds of karmas are there, 3 kinds of karma. Mainly there, Sanchita karma means that is accumulated. Whatever karma is accumulated through earlier incarnations is called Sanchita karma. Sanchita means accrued karma. This can be destroyed only through Jnanam. The next one comes Prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma is the karma that has already started affecting the person in this life, is called Prarabdha karma, and this can be exhausted only through experiencing it. That means, although one tries for Jnanam and gets succeeded in his endeavor in this birth, he has to complete the experiencing this Prarabdha karma that has already started in this birth. So, Karma Siddhanta in Vedas. Where is this Karma Siddhanta in Vedas? The theory of karma is clearly stated in Veda. Tajya iha ramaniya charanaha abhyashoha yatte ramaniyam yonim apadjeran brahmana yonim va kshatriya yonim va tha ya iha kapoyi charanaha abhyashoha yatte kapuyam yonim apadjeran shvayonim va Sokarayonim va, Chandalayonim va. This is from Chandogya Upanishad. So, those who performed good karmas, punya karmas, will get good birth in the next generation, next life, whereas those who performed papa karmas will be born as dogs, pigs or Chandala, etc., etc. So, in this world, this is what is explained in this Chandogya Upanishad Vakyam. So, Taittiriya Krishna Yajurveda says the following: Yatha punyasya karmanah apanyapatake shasaha tatrate yonijajanaha mrtva punarmrityumapadyante adyamana swakarmabhihi. Just like a person with papa karma, they are born without hands, without feet, without hair, etc. There are people who are not born out of womb, being ruled by their karmas, die again and again. That means, we strongly believe that the state of affairs, present state of affairs for any person is due to his karma only, and there is no other reason or cause. Then, these karmas are of 3 kinds. What are they? There are Nitya karmas. Nitya means regularly one has to perform these karmas. Veda has ordained certain karmas to be performed on a regular basis. Sandhyam manasadhyayet says Aitareya Brahmanam. Sandhya is the twilight. During the twilight, the Aditya, who is in the form of Brahman, is to be worshipped. It is called Sandhya Vandanam. Same thing is said in another Smriti Vakyam, Yavajyam Agnihotram Jahoti. Till the end of the life, one has to perform the Agnihotram, the sacred fire, rite that is related to sacred fire. One should meditate Sandhya, the deity, sun during the twilight with mind. One should perform Agnihotram as long as he is alive. That is the translation. Then, Naimittika Karmani. Nimitta means cause. The karma which is being performed due to some nimitta, some cause, is called Naimittika karma. The karmas caused by certain occasion are called Naimittika karmas. Rahu Prage Snayat says a Smriti, a Dharma Shastram. That means one should take bath at the time of eclipse caused by Rahu. The death ceremony, Graha Pravesha, housewarming ceremony, etc. are also Naimittika karmas. Then there are Kamya karmas. the karmas that are done, performed with some desire in the mind. Any karma performed with a desire is called kamya karma. Vivaha, marriage, is for children, and so it is a kamya karma. Jyotishtomena sargakamo yajeta, says Krishna Yajurveda. And one who wants to go to heaven should perform the sacrifice called Jyotishtoma. So these are called kamya karmas. Now, Jnanam and moksha. Jnanam and moksha. On the other hand, one who is desirous of moksha, moksha means relief from the worldly bindings, and through arresting the cycle of birth and death, as well as uniting the Jivatma with the Paramatma, is called moksha. A person who is desirous of moksha should acquire Jnanam. As has already been stated earlier, one has to face the results of prarabdha karma, whereas the remaining sanchita karma will be destroyed by Jnanam. Moksha is a term just like Shabda, Dharma, Yoga, Punya, etc., that is untranslatable, and the salvation is not a correct translation of moksha, but can maybe a rough translation. Sannyasi. Who is this sannyasi? What is this? The one who prefers detachment to attachment with the people and mundane affairs and concentrations on acquiring jnanam in order to attain moksha is called a sannyasi. And also maskari, parivrajakaha. All these three terms are synonyms. Depending upon the status, sannyasis are of four kinds: kutichakaha, Bahodakaha, Hamsaha, Paramhansaha. Four kinds of sannyasis are there. Some scholars said that giving up kamya karmas is called sannyasa. Kamyanam karmananyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu. So this is from Bhagavad Gita 18th Adhyaya. Some sannyasis perform nitya naimittika karmas, whereas a Paramahansa gives up all karmas, that is to say including nitya and naimittika. So Paramahansa does not perform either nitya karma or naimittika karma or kamya karma. Tyaga is explained by scholars as giving up the results of all karmas. Sarva karma phalattyagam prahu tyagam vichakshanaha. This is the second line of the verse from Bhagavad Gita 18th Adhyaya. Then Vidhi and Nishedha. The gamut of sentences both in Veda and world can be put under two headings. One is Vidhi, the other is Nishedha. Vidhi means injunction, whereas Nishedha means censure. If a sentence says do it, then it is a Vidhivakyam. If a sentence says do not do it, then it is a Nishedhavakyam. Satyam vada, speak the truth, is a Vidhivakyam. Mahimsyat sarvabhutani, from Veda. One should not hurt any beings. This is a Nishedhavakyam. The sentences of commendation and condemnation called Stutyarthavada and Nindarthavada would end up in Vidhi and Nishedha respectively. Stutyarthavadas are useful in generating an urge in the minds of the people to do something. Nindarthavadas are useful in discouraging one from doing something. As per Nahininda Nyaya, Shabrabhashyam in Purvamimamsa, first Adhyaya, fourth Pada, the Ninda of something or someone is not to censure but to praise the opposite. So, the Ravana censure of Ravana in Ramayanam would have its purport in Ramastuti, praising Rama, rather than in censuring Ravana. Same is the case with Duryodhana and Dharmaraja in Mahabharatam also. Prayaschitta karmani. There are another kind of karmani which are called prayaschitta karmani. A person having committed a sinister action, papa karma, unknowingly or due to circumstances, would have to perform a prescribed karma in order to get rid of the sin. This is called prayaschittam, penance in English. There are also certain karmas that render neither punyam nor papam, such as laughing too much, scratching without itching, etc., etc. So, these such kind of karmas, someone goes on laughing always. Whether punyam or papam he is going to get neither. Because Patanjali clearly says in Mahabhashyam under Rilakya Sutram that the asishta pratishiddham hi na punyaya bhavanti na papaya. If that is neither ruled nor censured, then such a karma would not cause either punyam or papam. That is the meaning. Vividisha, literally it means a desire to know, the Brahman. Who is to be known? Only Brahman. So Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says that one would get Vividisha through recitation of Veda by sacrifices, karmas, contributions and the imperishable tapas. Tamevam Vedanuvachanena Brahmana Vividishanti Yajnena Danena Tapasa Anashakena. By all these things, by Vedanuvachanena, the recitation of Vedas, Yajnas, the donations, the other kinds of tapas, that is not going to perish. People want to know, scholars want to know the Brahman, that is the meaning. So even the Kamya Karmani such as Vivaha are useful in attaining moksha through generating Vividisha. So although Vivaha, marriage is for children, it can be taken that this will be helpful, useful in attaining moksha through generating Vividisha. It is also stated in scriptures that the Kamya Karmas, if the result is given up, are useful in achieving Chitta Shuddhi or cleansing of mind that would ultimately lead to moksha. Now, Bhakti, Karma and Jnanam. There is threefold approach to attain moksha. The first one is Bhakti or devotion. Useful for ordinary people, Bhakti does not directly cause moksha but through generating Jnanam. Bhakti falls under Sagunopasana, worshipping Brahman, having some form or a name such as Vishnu, Shiva, Gayatri, etc. Karmas are also useful in achieving moksha, not directly but through gradually cleansing the mind, Chitta Shuddhi, that leads to Jnanam. This path also, Sagunopasana, is for people who can sustain the severity of karmas. So directly neither bhakti nor karma would lead to jnana, moksha, but only through causing jnanam, generating jnanam in the mind of the person through chitta shuddhi or cleansing the mind. Those who have the mental caliber that can exercise control upon mind and other sense organs can attain jnanam that directly leads to moksha. Here it will be nirgunopasana or worshipping the Brahman without any form or name. Then Shankaracharya at the beginning of his Brahma Sutra Bhashyam prescribes 4 prerequisites to study Vedanta. One who wants to study Vedanta should have these qualifications. The first one is Nityanitya Vastu Vivekaha, the distinguishing capacity of things of the universe in terms of eternal and non-eternal. Ihamutrartha Bhoga Viragaha, detachment towards the enjoyment of things that are here in this world and another world. Shamadamadi sadhana sampat, the wealth of equipment such as control on mind and other sense organs. Mumukshutvam, a desire in moksha. These are the 4 prerequisites to study Vedanta. Then Vakya Shastram, Purvamimamsa is called Vakya Shastram. For any scholar, that the knowledge of Padavakya Pramana Shastrani is essential as per Indian tradition. Padashastram is Vyakaranam, Vakya Shastram is Purvamimamsa, and Pramana Shastram is Nyaya and Vaisheshika. The fact is that although each one of the above mentioned Shastras discuss all the linguistic units right from Varna down to Mahavakyam, that is Varnaha, Prakrutihi, etc., etc., the designation such as Padashastram is given depending upon the aspect each system deals with chiefly. So, then the sentences in Vedic literature can be put under 5 headings. Vidhivakyam, that is Swargakamo Yajeta, etc., which says one should perform the sacrifice, etc. And the second one is Mantravakyam, mantras such as Ishet, Ojyatva, etc., Krishna Yajurveda beginning are useful during the performance of a yaga through recollecting the meaning. Namadheya Vakyam, the sentence which denotes the designation of a yaga, Udbhidaya Jeta Pashukamaha, etc. This sentence denotes the name of a yaga called Udbhit. Since this sentence is connected with a vidhi, it cannot have Svatah Pramanyam. Then Nishedha Vakyam, a sentence that prescribes a censure, Barhish Rajatannadeyam, one should not use silver as dakshina during a yaga. That is in Nishedha Vakyam. Arthavada Vakyam, these sentences that are useful in commending and condemning a rite. We have discussed earlier about these things. Next, Jaimini rules Purvamimamsa Sutram, Vidhanat Vekavakyatvat Stutyathena Vidhenam Syuhu. So the Arthavadas of praise are the remaining parts of Vidhi, and they are connected to Vidhivakyam, and so they are called Vidhishesha. as the popular sotram of Jaimini is there, Arthaikatvad ekam vakyam sakankshan ched vibhage syat. If a single meaning is expressed or a single thing is proposed, and when separated, if the parts are found to be wanting, then that group of words is a sentence. That group of sub-sentences or avantara-vakyas is a mahavakyam, because this sotram is a definition for both a vakyam and mahavakyam. Prerequisites of a vakyam. There are three prerequisites: akanksha, yogyata and asakti. Akanksha is the mutual expectancy between the words of a sentence, especially the noun and a verb, and yogyata is the compatibility of the meaning of the sentence, and proximity is nothing but the quick or successive pronunciation of the words of a sentence. So, if there is any gap in between, then the words of a sentence in pronunciation, then the words of a sentence cannot render the intended meaning. Yogyata and asakti, these things are explained. The above definition of Jaimini, as has already been mentioned, meticulously compiled in order to suit for both a vakyam and mahavakyam. The mahavakyam is nothing but a group of words or padas with akanksha, yogyata, asakti is called a vakyam, whereas the avantara vakyas are sub-sentences of sub-sentences with akanksha, yogyata and asakti are called a mahavakyam. If the meaning to be expressed is short, one would employ a vakyam, whereas if the meaning is a larger one, then he would go for a mahavakyam. In other words, mahavakyam and mahakavyam are synonyms. Ramayanam, Mahabharatam, etc. are mahavakyas. In Vedanta, we come across mahavakyas such as Tattvamasi. Here, even if it looks like a vakyam, it is called mahavakyam because of arthagauram or heaviness of meaning. The purport of the entire chapter is denoted by this sentence, Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. This is from there in the 6th adhyaya of Chandogya Upanishad. Shvetaketu, you yourself are that Paramatma. That is to say, Jivatma is not different from Paramatma. So, in the case of Ramayanam, etc., it is Shabda Gauravam or vastness of Shabda, whereas in the case of Tattvamasi, it is Artha Gauravam, the profoundness of meaning. It may be noted that the gamut of sentences can be put under two headings we have already discussed. The other sentences of commendation and condemnation are the remaining parts of Vidhi and Nishedha. Then Shakti. In deciding the meaning of a Vakya, Shabaraswami, the author of Bhashyam on Jaimini's Purvamimamsa Sutras, offered a norm that is very important. Akshata Shabdanam Artham Bravatam Shakti Sahakarini. When you are interpreting the verbal words, capacity should be associated. What he means is this: let us take a sentence like Swargakamo Yajeta. One desirous of Swarga should perform the yaga. Does it mean that anybody with a desire in Swarga can perform the yaga? No. He should have Shakti, capacity of three kinds: Manasika Shakti, Sharirika Shakti and Arthika Shakti, mental, physical and financial capacities. Next, dichotomy of yaga. Yaga is of two types, Prakriti Yaga and Vikriti Yaga. If all Angas or constituents are mentioned, it is Prakriti Yaga, while only some constituents are mentioned and the rest of the constituents are to be borrowed from Prakriti Yaga, then that is called Vikriti Yaga. Jyotishtham Yaga is a Prakriti Yaga, whereas Saurya Yaga is Vikriti Yaga. Bhavana. This is of two types, Shabdi Bhavana and Arthi Bhavana. Since Veda is Apaurushaya, in order the order or ajj by Veda to do something is called Shabdi Bhavana. The prayatna or effort is called Arthi Bhavana. Combination of Dravyam, the substance, and Devata, that is deity, is called Yaga. Dravyam and Devata are called Yaga. Then, therefore, what we have discussed in this module is that there are two concepts, one is karma and the other is jnanam. If you divide Veda into two parts, then the Mantra Brahmana Bhaga would deal with karma, whereas the Aranyakam and Upanishads would deal with jnanam. Three kinds of karmas, Nitya karmas, Naimitika karmas and Kamya karmas are there, and a sannyasi can give up these Kamya karmas, but Nitya Naimitika karmas he would perform. And also a Paramahamsa would give up all the karmas, both all Nitya, Naimitika and Kamya karmas. And if one wants to attain moksha, he should gain jnanam through bhakti or through karma or directly also. So, Purvamimamsa Darshanam is useful in analyzing the sentences of the Purvabhaga, that is the former earlier part of Veda which deals with karma, whereas Vedanta or Uttaramimamsa is useful, that is a darshanam useful in deciding the purport of the Upanishadic and Aranyaka sentences. So, one has to study all these things in order to understand the Vedic literature in its perfection. For more details, please visit EPG Pathashala website. धन्योस्मि, शुभम भूयात्.